Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to a house building sort of thing. It's kind of a house renovation. It's a challenge that I saw pop up on my Twitter timeline. So let me get up some information before I actually start so I can inform you what this challenge actually is. And you can do it for yourself. The deadline is the 7th of May, so that's like this Friday or something. No, this Sunday. So you do need to kind of hurry a bit if you do want to actually participate in the challenge. I'm really sorry for taking so long to put this up. I was just busy doing stuff and I had some other videos planned, but I had so much fun renovating this house. So like I said, let me pull up some information and then we can actually start getting into the voiceover. Okay, so this challenge is called Let's Build New Crest, and it's by a YouTuber who actually speaks Spanish, so I don't watch the videos because I don't understand any of it, but I saw this randomly pop up on my timeline, and there was also a English translation, so I will put the link to her channel and Twitter and everything in the description so you can look it up. And it's basically a house that she built. You saw it in the beginning. It was like empty, and there's some rules and colors and everything that you can use or not use depending on what you want to do. So I'll just quickly go through the rules and stuff so you can get a better, I don't know, you understand what I'm doing, and then we'll get into some stories and everything. It's going to be a pretty long video because apparently I took a really long time doing this. So I'm really sorry for that. I sped it up as much as I possibly could, but this is sort of where we ended up. So the rules are, the first things are things that are permitted. So you can add walls, like I did there. You can add windows and you can add doors. What is not allowed is demolish already existing walls. Normally I would have sort of demolished the wall that's kind of like in a weird corner there. I don't know how to say that. It's like a round thing. Because that room that I built, like I added on, is actually kind of a strange size, but I kind of like it. I did something that I've never done before. I could have just kept the shape because the shape was, I don't know, it was pretty okay on its own, but I just wanted to do something different and just get like a unique spin on it, my own style. And I kind of made it like one of those sunrooms. I'm not sure what they are called, but it's basically all windows and it's like you're outside of the house, but you're inside and you can see everything because it's like all windows. You see in a second what I did. I think it's pretty creative and I really like it. And I might use that more often now, so it's fun. Challenges like these are fun because it just gives you more stuff. Okay, so then optional is add landscaping, and it says doesn't apply to garden. I'm not sure what she meant by that, so I might have done some stuff that I wasn't allowed to. I'm hoping I didn't. I tried to not remove anything that was already there. I think I might have changed out some of the fencing, but that might have been just because I didn't have the items, or I just didn't like the fencing, I'm sorry. But I tried to not remove anything. As you can see, I did remove some stuff, but I move everything around, and I think in the end I sort of kept everything that was already there, just added some stuff, and obviously did the interior because it was completely empty and there were no rules for that. So then the requirement is that it needs to be a family house. I tried to do that. It needs to have one dining room, one living room, one kitchen, 2 bathrooms, and 2 bedrooms. So I'm not sure if I qualify for this because I did the dining room in the same room as the kitchen, and I did a bathroom downstairs, but it's only like a toilet. So I'm not sure if that qualifies as a bathroom, but I think I did it. And then there's also a color palette, which is like a light yellow, although I did more of a bright yellow sometimes, but I did use the light yellow too. A light blue, a like pink brownish color, a dark purple brownish color, and a green. And I don't think I used any green in the house, but I did use the yellow, the blue, and then the brownish pink purple-achtig, wow. Like color. Sorry, I just switched to Dutch all of a sudden. I do that sometimes and it's just kind of weird. Also, I was kind of messing around with the garden. It didn't really work, so I think I removed it. In the end, it just made it like a small porch at the back and not really a thing that I was doing right now. I kind of wanted to go for a modern garden with like a swimming pool, but it ended up going for more of a traditional style, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It was just, the area was just too small for it to actually work like that. I also removed the things I'm doing right now with I don't know, you'll see what I did. And also, if the video turns really laggy, I'm really sorry. At some point, like halfway through this video, it will go a little laggy. And that's because, I don't know, it just recorded weirdly. It wasn't like that in the game. It might have been a bit laggy, but it saved weirdly, and then I couldn't get the correct thing back, so yeah. But anyway, the information for this challenge will be in the description, at least the video, and that she explains it in, even though I don't speak Spanish, so I have no idea what she says. She has a really nice voice, but I don't know what she says. I can't speak Spanish. I did take Spanish in school, but I never really went through with that. I was way better at Spanish than I was at French, which I actually took. But Spanish wasn't like an official course. It was just a thing you could do on the side, so you had like an extra language, which I already struggle with languages, which is funny because I might be going off to study a language next year. I don't know yet. Depends if I'm doing a music thing or not. But I already struggle with languages, so I didn't really want to take an extra one. I did try for 1 year, but it was so low on my list of priorities because it was an extra thing. It didn't require for me to like pass on to the next year. So I kind of slacked off a bit. I don't know. It just wasn't working for me. I would have loved to have taken Spanish instead of French, which I don't understand. Like, I know that France, whatever, is really close to us, and we also take German, which I can understand German, but Spanish is such, I don't know, the language is just so much more present in the world. There's so many countries that you could speak Spanish, that you need Spanish. So it's not just in Spain, you know. So it makes much more sense to learn Spanish than it does to learn French. Even though I do love the language of French, it just wasn't working for me personally. I couldn't pronounce anything, and it wasn't clicking or something. I don't know how to explain that, but some languages work for me. I understand them. And Spanish was one of them. I could pronounce things pretty good, and I could remember things, and it made sense to me. Like, French just didn't make sense to me. And then I guess I could have taken German, but I don't know, German is a lot more difficult because it's really close to Dutch, so they sort of assume that people can understand it, so the course is actually way more difficult. I guess it depends. If you can understand it, then it's really easy, but I couldn't. Like, somehow that doesn't work for me. Like, people listen to German when they speak Dutch, and it's just like, yeah, I understand what they're saying. Like, not perfectly, but I understand most of what they're saying if they speak slowly, because it's so close to my language. And I just couldn't. I just don't understand it. And it's weird because I should be able to understand it, but I wasn't. So it's a weird thing. And I guess I just took French instead because I liked the language and I thought I was better at it. Turns out I wasn't. Actually, I had a pretty good grade in the end, but that was just reading. I can read sort of okay after like practicing so much for my final exam. I can read okay, but I think I probably can't anymore, but at that time, like, things that are easy to read, I could pretty much understand if I had, like, some sort of translation device. Obviously not just Google translating everything, but, like, if I had, like, what's it called in English? Dictionary, right? If I had that, I could pretty much understand just a text or something. Not like I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Not like a phone text, like a thing that is written, like for a paper or an article. That's what I wanted to say, an article. I can understand that, sort of. I don't even know anymore. Okay, so what I actually wanted to talk to you about is a dream I had last night. And I know, normally dreams are really boring and you don't want to hear about them, but this one was actually pretty interesting and about the Sims community. So I've been watching Lil Simsy's videos for, I don't know, she must have had, she was like on her way to 50,000 when I started watching. Might have even been less, but I know that she had like a really big jump and all of a sudden she was at 50,000. So I was definitely before she reached 50,000 and she just reached 100,000 subscribers. So I've been there for a considerable amount of time, not as long as some people, I know that, but I really love her videos and I think she's a really fun person. So tonight I suddenly had a dream that I was able to meet her, I don't know, and not like not like she did a meet and greet or something, not like a fan-based things, but just like as a friend, I was able to meet her. So I went over to her house, basically. We were friends, like online friends, and I went over to her house. And I really admire her because she's just, I don't know, she inspires me to work harder because I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she manages to put up with school and everything and have like 3 Tumblr blogs that she runs, and then she still manages to upload daily and have like a really organized life. So I admire her so much as a YouTuber. And she just inspires me. So in that dream, that moment was really important to me, and I really wanted her to like me, and I really wanted to be friends with her because she's just like such a fun person. So I went over to her house, and it was so awkward, and it just kind of broke my heart a little. Obviously, this is a dream, right? If you're just like tuning in now, if you just skipped a bit, this is a dream. This is not going to happen in real life. And it's just, we had nothing to talk about. There were so many awkward silences, and it was too awkward to be. It was kind of amazing how awkward it was. I don't think I've ever had a moment that awkward. We had nothing to talk about. It was just kind of quiet. So I started talking about YouTube, and still, nope, not really a conversation that was flowing correctly, and it was kind of awful. She's a lovely person, but we just didn't. And this was a dream, by the way. It's not like this is going to happen in real life, but I just thought it was kind of funny because it is about the Sims community. And I just think it's kind of funny that I dreamt about that. It's kind of like an anxiety of mine, I guess, like social anxiety. And yeah. And after that, I had more anxiety stuff. So in my high school, we had like it was really like an art-centered high school, and I'm like a singer, I guess. I don't know, I did a couple of covers if you want to check them out. And I did music, and I also took theater. But in my school, it was like the most unorganized school ever. So we kind of, every single time we had a performance, we sort of finished it like 5 minutes before, and I'm not even kidding, it's actually like that. So one of the times, like for example, one of the times we did one of my friends, we had a theater thing, and we were directed by some of our classmates. And we did like a bit of like a scene. It was kind of like a scene, like a short 15 minutes maybe, or like, I think even less, like maybe 5 minutes, something like that. And it was around a theme, and we just, somehow it didn't really work out that well. And then the teacher came in, and she has a tendency to change everything that you've worked on. And everyone kind of feared that. It was always like, okay, we need to show her before because she is going to change everything. And honestly, she knew what she was talking about. So most of the time it did make a better scene. It would have been nice if she let us have the like creative freedom to do our own thing, but she didn't know what she was talking about, so most of the time it did kind of improve. Like from an outsider perspective, it did kind of improve all of the scenes. Not always, most of the time. So we showed her our final product maybe like an hour or so before the performance, and she changed so much, and it was so short before the performance, and I also had a music thing, so I couldn't stay there the entire time. So basically, like on the show day, we had the entire day off, kind of, just to spend on practicing everything and going over everything again. And I also had a music thing that night, so I also needed to practice for that, and I was probably in a couple of bands and stuff like that, so people were depending on me, and it was such, like, if you have more than one art class, it was just almost impossible. You just had to run around all day, trying not to lose your mind. But she changed it an hour before, and I also had a music thing, so we didn't even have time to rehearse it properly, which meant that we had to go on stage and improvise. We might have done like the first couple of minutes we knew, and after that we just didn't. We never actually played through it. And I know, like, one of the moments we were at the end of the minutes that we rehearsed, and we kind of looked at each other, and it was like a tiny bit of a silence, and we were just like, okay, we need to do this now. I remember that, like looking at each other and kind of panicking, and then one of us just started like, okay, this is what I'm doing. And I think it was me, or I don't know, so we needed to fight, so I just sort of started yelling at her and just being mad at her and throwing stuff at her because we had a food fight on stage, which was kind of fun. So yeah, that's like an example of how theater went for me. It was really stressful because improvising on stage, if it's not the assignment to improvise, if it's the assignment to have a really rehearsed, well thought out scene or whatever, that's scary. That's really scary. I don't know if anyone, like someone of my viewers, has taken a theater class. That is scary. This is when we get into the laggy stuff. I'm so sorry. I'm hoping it's still okay. I'm hoping you still enjoy it. It's really laggy. I don't know what happens. And it's going to be like this until the end, I'm pretty sure. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm seriously, I just want to apologize so much. There's nothing I can do about it. And I really want to upload this video because I worked so hard on it and I love the end result. So just listen to the stories and try not to be bothered about it. I'm so sorry. Or click away if you really don't like it. I don't know if it's going to be fixed. It might be fixed at the end. So skip through it if you really don't want to watch this. And otherwise, I'm just going to continue with my story. So anyway, basically, I'm just telling you to go off and do something else. That's not good promotion on my part, but anyway, I'm going to continue with this story. So that's kind of what theater was like for us. It was really stressful, and we changed everything at the last minute. So I still have, like, anxiety dreams. Not really anxiety dreams, but, like, scary dreams, nightmares, basically, about that sort of stuff. Basically, I have dreams where I need to go up on stage, but I never got the script for anything. I need to go up on stage, but my outfit is missing. I need to go up on stage, but no one told me I needed to go up on stage. So I just learned 5 minutes before. I have those kind of dreams. But tonight I had a different kind of dream, and it was kind of an audition dream. I did an audition for a musical school. I'm not really good at dancing, and I thought it was going to be fine because I opted for a thing where you didn't need to be that good at dancing. It was just like an extra thing. But I got there to the audition and everyone was so good at dancing. I was like, one of the 3 people who didn't know what they were doing, and I was probably the worst. And I take dance classes, so the level was a lot higher than I thought it would be. So everyone knew what they were doing, and like the most difficult part for me, I'm okay with like steps and stuff, but I take a long time learning things, and that's always the case for me. It's always been. It's always my biggest struggle that I had in school too. So I don't know, it was a lot to take in. It was really quick, and I couldn't learn it, so I couldn't show what I was able to do because I couldn't remember the steps. So I kind of panicked, and tonight I had a dream about that. It was like right after the awkward moments with Kayla, so it was not a good time for me, this dream. So basically, I needed to get up on stage, and someone taught me a dance, and it was like a fun group thing or whatever. It was supposed to be like just fun, and then I got up on stage, and it was like a large group of people, and then we started dancing, and suddenly everyone left except me and this guy. And this guy really knew what he was doing, so he learned it in one go. They basically taught him and he remembered everything. And I was supposed to do that too, but I was just kind of standing there like, I don't remember anything. I don't know what we did. And this guy was just dancing and didn't really care about anything. And it was just like, yeah, whatever, I know what I'm doing. So I kind of left stage because everyone left and he knew what he was doing. And I was kind of in the way and I was just standing there. So I left the stage, and then when I got off the stage, someone basically just yelled at me being like, how dare you leave him like that? Now he needs to do this on his own. And I'm like, how am I getting all of this when everyone just left? I don't know. It was a very, very interesting dream. I have these kind of dreams. They're not like nightmares. They're not like really scary. Most of the time I have like a bit of control over my dreams and they turn really scary because I hate that. I hate scary dreams. So I have this like weird willpower in me. I'm like, no, we're not doing this. And I just realized that I'm dreaming. And when you realize that you're dreaming, you can change pretty much anything. And so when it turns scary, I'm so scared that I just realized this is not real. I'm dreaming. And then I'm like, I'm not doing this. So one time I just went shopping in my dream because it was turning scary. Basically, I was like walking in a deserted desert and I knew, like, it's kind of like a movie when like scary music starts playing. I just know in that moment. And it's not like scary music actually starts playing. I just know that something is up. So I called a friend of mine. He picked me up and we went shopping. That's basically what I do. So I never really have scary dreams because I'm able to modify them just enough. It's not like I have control over my dreams, like I can fly. I can do realistic stuff, things I have done before. So I can make like little modifications, but when it's like an anxiety dream, it's not really an anxiety dream because I know that's way worse than this. But it's like something that is driven by anxiety. So like something I'm not really like a traditional nightmare sort of situation that everyone is scared of, but really personal to me. So like the show stuff, the theater stuff, or I guess awkward moments with people that I admire, apparently. So I guess that sort of thing happens. And I don't have any influence over that. And it's not like I wake up like screaming because it was so scary. It's just like not a nice thing to think about before you wake up in the morning. I've had better dreams than that. I don't know. I thought it was just a fun story. Especially because it's about the Sims community a bit. But we still have some time left, so let me tell you a different story that is like completely unrelated to this. I recently got my driver's license. That's what you call it, right? I don't know. So I had lessons and everything, and I can drive okay. I can drive safely, but I'm not good at it, like at all. I don't know, like by some miracle, the second time I took the test 2 times, which is actually that's pretty normal in the Netherlands. It's really hard to get your driver's license out here. So I guess I'm okay-ish at driving. If I got my driver's license, apparently I am okay enough. But it's the most difficult part is driving in another car, because the cars you drive in when you take lessons, those are pretty easy. They are actually like on purpose pretty easy to drive, and we drive like manually, if that's what you call it. I don't know. So it's not like in the US where you just have to go forward and steer. It's a lot more like you have to change gear. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it's called in English. But it's more difficult than just basically. I'm really hoping I'm getting to a new thing now, and I'm hoping it's a lot less laggy. It's a bit less laggy. It's better than it was before. Okay, so I'm guessing it's okay-ish. Maybe I will put it in the comments below, just being like, if you really don't like the lag, skip to this part because it's better than the other one. It's still not... I don't know what happened though, but it's a lot better, right? Yeah. The party before this was really bad. It's kind of laggy. It's still kind of laggy. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I won't put it in the comments. I'm really... Let's stop talking about this. It's not gonna get any better. It's just this is what it is. This is what I have, and I'm still hoping you enjoy this video, maybe for the voiceover. But anyway, the second time I was driving in my mom's car, which is really difficult. I am used to driving in a really modern car, so when I'm on a hill, it was like really easy to get up, to drive away. Or whatever, to, you know, when you're at like a stoplight or whatever it's called, traffic light, I guess, and you're on a hill, it's hard to leave. It's called a hill test in the Netherlands, sort of loosely translated. And it's difficult to do that if you're driving manually and not in like a whatever. I don't know. I shouldn't be talking about cars in English because I don't know anything about it. I don't have to translate anything. But it's difficult. That's what I'm trying to say. And when you stop and you need to drive off, it's difficult to drive off when you're on a hill. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's even more difficult in my mom's car because I was used to a really, really modern car in which it was really easy. So I was at a traffic light and it was red, so I had to stop. And my mom needed to explain to me what I was doing in that moment, so it wasn't going to go well. I'm not a quick learner, so the first time it went to green, I couldn't drive away. The second time the traffic lights went to green, I couldn't drive away. So basically I was there in like 3 rounds. It went to green 3 times before I could drive away, and there was a car behind me. It was horrible. And seriously, every single time that a car like honks at me because I'm too slow or whatever, the car just turns off. every single time. It's like, you just make it worse. I'm not trying to bother you. I'm not just not paying attention. I'm not on my phone. I'm trying, but it's just not working. So it's been interesting. I have more stories. I don't know. You know, the first time you're going around a roundabout, I think that is what it's called, and it's dark, and there's a car behind you, and there's like a biker's path next to it. Like, there's a crossing for people who like cross the road and everything. And there's a car behind you, and he has his lights on, which obviously it's dark, so it looks like there's a bike with a light on next to you. So I panicked the first time. I was like, oh, I missed it. No, I don't. I wanted to like brake and everything and stop the car in a second, and there was nothing. It was just the lights behind me. It's interesting. And also one time there was a bus in front of me, and it was like in a living area, so you can't really go past the bus. The bus has he has the right to go, not you. I don't know how to say this. I really shouldn't be talking about this in English, should I? I don't know. And this time, like, he went to the side to do a bus stop, and there were cars behind me going past me because they thought it was going too slow and like being all annoying and stuff. Their fault, not mine. But I wanted to go past that bus so badly because the cars behind me were annoying that I missed my turn. Literally, I went so fast past that bus because I was desperate to get past it that I just missed my turn. So I had to drive like all the way somewhere else, and I was lost and everything just because those stupid cars behind me. I've heard that in France, they do a thing where they put like a sticker on the car when you just have your driver's license. I want that, so people actually know to like keep their distance and don't get annoyed at me because I'm really trying. I'm just not the best at driving yet, but I'm getting better. I don't know. My dad's car is really easy to drive in. I'm good at driving in that car, and my mom's car is getting better. I'm not completely 100% fine at it yet. Basically, I'm doing the upstairs area now. I did some yellow stuff, and I did like a really interesting main bedroom, I think, with the chairs and everything, and I'm doing a toddler room because it's pretty small, and it needs to be a family house, so like 2 parents and a toddler, family, right? I don't know if I did anything else. Oh no, I did a children's room. I didn't do a toddler room. I remember now. So yeah, 2 parents and a child, family house. Basically everything that you need, right? This video is almost over, and I don't have enough time. There's always like the awkward moment where you don't have enough time to tell more stories. Sorry for the fail story at the end, by the way. I didn't realize how difficult it was for me to talk about cars in English because I don't know any of the right words for it. Maybe should have looked up some stuff. I don't know. It's basically the main part of the story. It's difficult to drive, and I'm bad at it. And it gets me into awkward situations. It's always like an awkward moment when you don't have enough time to start another story, but the video isn't over yet, so what do you talk about? Any people who do voiceovers that have had this moment happen? I don't know. It's almost done. I'm really happy with this house. I think I did a really good job on giving it my own spin, my own version of it, and I'm just adding some landscaping, and then it's done. So basically, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.